You have to listen with people. Now, the reason why I know I had her on this one, the reason why I know I listen to Stoic stuff by Marcus Aurelius. I read Stoics, I practice this. It has nothing to do about what she just said. It's self-control, rationality, personal virtue on the path to the good life. It is about control of your own emotions, acts, judgments, and not acting emotional. That's the whole point of this. Like, you don't know it. It's not that you're devoid of it, but you don't show it. You're not crying out loud. You don't, bro. I want y'all to go look it up yourself, though. Don't believe me. Go look it up. Right here. This is the perfect thing I can tell you right here. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion. A common misconception is that Stoicism depends on being robotic or emotionless. Instead, it teaches you to acknowledge your feelings, but prevent you from being overwhelmed or controlled by them. Please, listen, y'all don't have to believe nothing I say. Y'all can think I don't know what I'm talking about, but go do the research yourself.
For action and through it. You take away a rat's ability to feel emotion, it starves to death in like a week, because emotion drives all of us. Men aren't more or less emotional. We're all emotional. The issue is that, yeah, they have testosterone. They're always going to lift things heavier than I am. That's why they're disproportionately represented in labor fields. But the issue is that A, technology has balanced those things, and B, the idea that men are just better.
Technology balanced what? I thought it was uneven. Hold on, Pete.
Men just, by and large, because of X and Y, have a little bit more dimorphism at the ends. They might perform really high here. They're also disproportionately represented in some of the most disabled individuals, some of the most addicted individuals, some of the most homeless individuals, right? And so this idea that we're putting women below men because we tend to be kind of, I would argue, more balanced creatures, I think is disserving both of us.
I don't think that's what she said.
We're not putting women under men.
Yeah.
We always, I was talking about this earlier, where we're always constantly obsessing over this hierarchy on, I hear it from feminists a lot, where it's oh, well, men aren't better, women are under, the book, The Second Sex. This hasn't come from women who were happy being mothers
feminism.
and anti-feminists, anti-suffragettes. They're not saying that. It's always the feminists that are saying this. So I'm just why are y'all so obsessed with trying to be men? Why can't you just be good women and enjoy the roles that we're supposed to play, which is mother, a mother, because a man can't fill the mother role. That's why. So I just don't understand what the problem is and why you guys are trying to be men.
Wait, is that the only role?
We're not trying to be men.
Wait, no, is that the only role we play, though, as mom? That's it?
No, I just threw a role.
What other role can you play, bro? You can't play dad.
I think I'm the most masculine one here. I'm not trying to be a man. I'm just more questioning what is being a woman? What is that gonna look like for me? And it's not that I think that I'm better than men, it's just, even just saying men are more logical. It's I think men have been taught that their emotions are logic. Then it's not that they're more logical, they're not better decision makers, they're not the ones running our households, it's women that are running the households, you know?
I would say
that's why households
you
are
see households that are led by women and versus single households that are led by men. Men do a better job raising children by themselves.
You don't get to
Single households led by women are creating YNs that are in the Black community. Women do that, okay? Men provide structure, they provide discipline, and that's within the woman too.
So men sound like great mothers.
See the critical, see the how she said that? See how she said that? You see how she said that? The Black woman is trying to explain to her our struggles in our community without having a two-parent household. And her rebuttal is, well, yeah, men make great mothers.
Is anyone on this side?
You see what I'm saying? They don't care about what the feminist movement does to the Black household. They don't care. They want them men out of the household so they can raise more men to talk about. Instead of saying, you know what, if there was a two-parent household, some of these men would be raised better. You guys got to pay attention to what we watching.
About this particular prompt, I would like to speak on it.
I did. I wanted to say something with respect to the lesbian because I can't identify. But I think the flaw with feminism is the expectation that we are supposed to be the same at all. I think we understand and we appreciate we are not better or worse. We are not equal. We are equal value, but we're very different. And I think there's a natural biology that often gets overlooked, especially if you've raised boys. You will see from the womb, they are just different. And I think when we try to put them together and say, anything you can do, I can do better, we're setting ourselves up for failure. And you made a comment earlier about women are better in every way than men. And the question that I would have is,
I didn't say that.
I'm sorry, you said something
I didn't
about,
say anything close to that. I agree with you that I think the sexist, no, I honestly, the men versus women sex thing, I think it's silly. I think these traits, human traits are human traits. Some were nurtured more in this person, some were nurtured. Like my dad being a stay-at-home dad, he was much better mother than my mother was. I am so sorry, Mom, if you see this. But he just was. He was a better mom than she was. And sometimes that's the case. Forget the gender role stuff.
That's why she's so aggressive. She thinks she's a dude.
And like, these are all human traits. You either are a gentle, nurturing, organized person who wants to take care of a kid, or you're not. And that doesn't go man, woman, that goes person.
and I will say, not every woman is a mother. Not every woman should be a mother.
And not everyone, right.
But I would just say this, find me the society of women that are doing it by themselves.
I would love to
Exactly, it doesn't exist.
see. Why though?
Because we are not able to sustain it. We live in a safe, civil society because the men have made an agreement amongst themselves to not blow it all up.
To start a podcast with Riverside, all you need is a concept
Part 2
and a way to
gets
record it.
only better.
Here's how it
It only
works.
gets better, guys.
You'd
I thank y'all
rather
for being
serve
here with me.
capitalism
I
than
thank
serve
all y'all for
your
being here because
man.
this is good.
The man that
This
was
conversation needs to be
I'm a
had.
lesbian.
You,
Yeah, but does
whether
your
it's
man
from-
make
And
enough money?
I wanna say something, right? And this is very important. You have to watch stuff like this because if you're a married man, if you're dating a woman, these feminist women are trying to get your woman to turn on you, just so you know.
You don't have to work. This is my thing. These are, if we're talking about family units, these are two people. They get to decide what happens in their unit. And reality is some men are not going to be able to provide all that they can. Talk about pressure. I feel like feminism was good for men because it kind of relieved them of a little bit of pressure.
Lifted everybody up.
Yeah,
It
but
really
it's
did.
made men so much more depressed than ever. It's made them weaker.
I think they just don't like the fact that now they see, oh, women can be as good as us because now that we're allowed to have all these rights,
have to talk to a
we're
man?
graduating
Why do you
from
have to
college
be
more
as
than
good
they
as
are now.
men? Why do you have to be?
Because we live in their world.
This conversation is often reduced to labels. In this episode of The Bridge, feminist and anti-feminist women sit face to face to explore where their beliefs about womanhood, equality, and freedom align, and where they don't. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Daff. Welcome to The Bridge. Only women should make laws about women's bodies. No, yes. Not sure. Okay. You haven't spoken much. Go ahead.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think that if we want women to be able to vote on things like the draft, which affects men, which I don't think should exist, then I think that, it's not a per se men's or women's issue. It's a human rights issue. It's an equality issue. I think that conversations about like who should be able to vote on abortion or something like that is like, I think a lot of people on my side fail to see that there is a genuine concern with people who are pro-life because they do believe that the fetus is valuable, that it's similar to a baby. And I think if you have a serious issue like that, then I think all people should be able to vote on that. I don't know why it would be exclusive to like women particularly.
I'm going to say something controversial, but I think that men should step in a little bit more when it comes to laws, even more now, because like they were saying, like women are emotionally led. That's what I believe. I believe, like right there.
I can laugh.
Well, it's just like so many reactions it's constantly. Yeah, it's emotions. Like men feel their emotions, but they can also conduct themselves. At least when I'm in rooms with them. Yeah, but I will agree with the violence, right? But I also say that women, they're making decisions on. I'll even go away from the abortion topic. Lip fillers. We see women from the media. They're getting injections everywhere. BBLs. They're putting their life on the line to get BBLs because that's the propaganda or whatever they're putting out there. And so I just think that men should step in a little bit more
So see, the problem with this conversation is a cultural divide. The white feminist women are not understanding the black women's our struggle in our community. They're only seeing it from the white women need this and that. And I date white women, so I'm not tripping. But the female I was talking to was like a white feminist, but she supported the black community and gays and lesbians and all that. But when you don't know our struggle and what we're missing in our household, it's hard for y'all to understand. Like, bro, you keep saying you don't need men. It's crazy. It's crazy.
To protect us. Like, yeah, you can make the decision to go out there and alter your whole body, but at the end of the day, those women are putting their life on the line to do that. So that's why I say I think our men should actually step in more when they see that we're destroying ourselves, like in that sense. And that's just kind of one example I want to give.
Maggie, you made a face.
Oh, I made a face because I was talking earlier. I do agree. You should let people fail fantastically if they want to. Sometimes people have to hit rock bottom, and I say let them. And I think that's how some people have to learn, unfortunately.
The reason I'm saying women should have more of a say on our bodies than men is just, if we look at history, men have had the only say on our bodies. They used to perform like gynecological operations on us in a room, a theater they called it, with just men. And like, can you imagine being a woman, going under procedure, you're strapped to a table, and there's just a theater of men, and there's not a single woman in there dictating whether or not this is a good thing that should be happening. Like, we didn't have a say. We should have a say. We haven't had a say. We should. We haven't.
I think, so one of the things that I take kind of with this romanticization of the past is, if you look between the 1950s and now, almost every single marker of flourishing is up as women entered the workplace, as women entered policymaking. It turns out that all Western liberal democracies have given more agency to women, and they have consistently outperformed other countries that don't do this. And there's a reason for this, right? Which is that we're always better together. We're always better together. This idea that men are more logical than women, it's just like, the reality is like the emotional landscape is like way more complicated than that. And good, wise decisions usually include emotions anyways, right? So men being less emotional would be bad for wisdom. And I don't think that men are less emotional. I think they're the same. And so every marker of flourishing has improved. I guess, what would your rebut to that?
I think that they feel emotions. I just think what I've noticed is that they're not so emotionally reactive, unless, if we look at the studies of like men that are in prison, they usually come from single mothers, from what I've seen.
I actually don't think there should be any laws on women's bodies. I think the only people who should be making decisions about what medical procedures a woman is receiving is herself, because she is an adult and can make choices for herself, and with her doctor, because those are the only people who should be making decisions when it comes to women's bodies. I don't trust men to take a list and go to the grocery store and execute that successfully. I certainly don't trust them to put laws on my body and execute that successfully. Women are dying in Texas because of laws on their body. A woman was strapped to a life support machine where a baby was forced to be made when she was only 6 weeks pregnant, and the baby is now severely disabled, and that was a law by man. I don't think that men should be making decisions. If they can't find the clitoris on image, I don't care what they think about my uterus, okay? Like, that's my opinion. No more laws on women's bodies, period. Women are adults. They can make the right healthcare decisions for themselves, along with their doctor, who is also in the right place to make healthcare decisions. Should lawmakers be making healthcare decisions at all?
Taught the
Hope
doctors
not.
or gave the
Hope
doctors
not.
the
I don't really
knowledge to
care
do that?
what Mike Johnson has to say about my baby hole. So that's how I feel about that.
If you don't have them making any laws towards women and their bodies, then that means that you wouldn't have a doctor that could lawfully give you an abortion, right? So that means, because you're not, the baby just doesn't naturally die. If we put no laws on the book, then they wouldn't be able to give you an abortion.
If we didn't put laws on abortion,
And
they
on
could
top
just
of that-
perform an abortion. Like, that's the reality.
But what if the doctor...
You can't just perform an abortion. A doctor has to do that. It has to be laws, has to be stipulations around that.
doesn't want to perform the abortion? What if he doesn't believe
What does that have to do with law? That has to do with their choice.
But if there are no laws on the book, then that means that nothing can be done about it.
Well, that's not true, because there will still be doctors who perform that procedure. Like, I see the point that you're trying to make is,
I wish I had something like this course when I was starting out.
I feel like I won a prize.
All right, I'm ready. All right. Hi, I'm Henry